Leadership is hard to define. There's no one general consensus on the word leadership. It's much easier to explain or describe the characteristics of leadership. For that reason, the meaning of leadership gets tossed around a lot. A lot of people put their own personal assumptions into leadership, and that really takes us farther away from the true meaning of leadership. First, we must take into account that the word leadership is fluid. It cannot be contained in a box. Much like peace, love, equality, it can mean many different things for many different people. And so, leadership is like this. A demonstration of what I'm talking about is love. Love is both a verb and a noun. Leadership can be both a verb and a noun. Love means to have an intense feeling of an affection for someone, and it can mean to feel deeply for another person. While these descriptions seem similar, they're not the same. Love for one person may mean to give someone else the world, while another person sort of leaves the other people stranded and let them go down the hard road and let them figure it out so they can grasp the knowledge and experience of that. To them, that's love. So it can have many different interpretations. It can look different, and leadership is no different. So I Googled what it means to leadership. I Googled it, and they attempted to define leadership. And so leadership means action of leading a group or organization. It can also mean the state or position of being a leader. Merriam-Webster states that basically the same thing. And they are usually the number one definition source for everyone. As you can see, we can know the gist of what leadership is, but it's so vague. It really deprives us of this meaning of leadership. And so we have to seek out more sources. See, and Peter G. Norhaus said that leadership is a process where an individual influences a group to achieve a common goal. That's way more clear what leadership is than what Google provided. And through this, to add on to what Norhaus said, he said process, influence, groups, and common goals. These are the main things that go into leadership. Eric Geiger and Kevin Peck designed a 3-component model, and this helps us understand the framework of leadership. The first component is conviction. There needs to be conviction in the leader to do what's right for the group. There also needs to be a conviction for them not to follow their own desires. It's not about them. The second component is culture. Culture is the shared beliefs and values that drive the behavior of the group. And the leader needs to take the culture of the group into account, otherwise there will be division. The third component is constructs. Constructs are systems, processes, and programs to help develop leaders from the group. This helps create a vision which ultimately meshes conviction and culture together, and it drives the mission of the group forward. And so, really, when you take these two things, I think that paints a fuller picture. It doesn't paint the complete picture, but it paints a fuller picture of what it means to be a leader, or it encompasses a little bit of leadership. But ultimately, when you take all these things together, when you tie them together, then this will help not only the leader but the group be successful, and it will get their task completed. And so, I mean, that is really the main objective of being a leader, is getting a task completed, driving the group forward to complete this. And so they have to, obviously, they have to drive the group forward and complete the task at hand. When we take these things, they will reveal who the leader is and what they're about, their ethics. And so there can be very many various ways in which a leader can choose to lead. But ultimately, we know that they have to be successful. Otherwise, there would be no reason to have a leader if they're not going to be successful. And so the most important thing is for the leader to influence others, to become leaders, so that there's a regeneration. This wouldn't be so that the leader would have a legacy. This would be to provide the generations ahead and those in the group. This would be to provide them the tools that they need. Regeneration is the main goal. And it keeps on going and going and going. And there's good fruit to bear from that. My name's Cassie, and this is my TED Talk.